Robert, if you wouldn't mind, tell us how, just prior to coming to the cough center, how long you had your cough, how badly it affected you, and how it affected your family and your work, and generally how severe your cough was prior to coming to the cough center and starting the combined medication.
I'm 47 years old, and I've had my cough probably since I was 15 years old. So what's that, 32 years? It got to be so bad that even people at work would know when they would know I'm at the office just by hearing me cough down the hall. I was just constantly coughing all throughout the day. Go out to dinner with my wife, I'd be coughing. It's been a chronic cough that just would never go away. And it got to be so bad, there's a few times I would get like in this hard cough where I thought I was almost going to die almost. I was coughing so hard. It was just like having almost like a cough attack. And I just couldn't stop coughing. And I would have these time to time. And like I said, over the last 30 years, the cough never would go away. I'd cough every day from the time I got up in the morning till the time I went to bed. And then finally, I met Mr. Levine and started taking his drugs. And that's what really made the cure happen.
I see. Okay. And prior to coming here, what attempts did you make? Did you go to a bunch of physicians? Did you try a whole bunch of different medications?
I went to everybody that supposedly could help me. I went to ear, nose, and throat doctors. I went to guys that were supposedly the best in the industry. Everybody said they were the best. I went to 3 or 4 different specialists, and nobody could help me. And so it got to be very frustrating, and it was one of those things where after going to everybody that you could possibly go to and told you're going to cough the rest of your life, I sort of got disenchanted till one day I heard a Dr. Levine on the radio explaining his cough center and what he can do for people, and then I picked up the phone and called and said, that's the guy that I need. And since I've gone to him, my cough has stopped.
Okay. Tell us how, since starting the combination medication, actually let's back up just a little bit. Tell us, after you started the new compounded medication, tell us exactly what happened. How did your cough get better? I mean, over what period of time? How dramatic was it?
Is the first day I took the medication, the combination medicine, I knew it was working. I could tell instantly because I had taken so many drugs over the years to try to stop the cough and nothing would work. The day I took it, I knew it worked. And what the medication did was I stopped coughing, and for the first time in my life I forgot about coughing because so much of my coughing was habit. And that medication made me stop coughing, and as the days went on, I sort of forgot about the coughing, sort of out of sight, out of mind, and that was the big help.
Before we get into the next question, when you talk, just be careful because you're hitting the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Otherwise, you're doing great.
Now, after you've stopped the medication, have you required any further medication?
When I was on the medication, that enabled for myself to sort of retrain my brain, where I forgot about the coughing, and since I've stopped the medication, I've hardly coughed at all. And I take no medication at all anymore. So.
Not this last question you just asked, but the question before. Can you just say that whole thing again? Because I just want to make sure we have
Sure.
it without the.
Yeah, we can do a retake too if you want, or whatever.
Do you want to ask that just the question you asked right before this last one?
Oh, okay. Just tell us about the treatment, how fast it worked, and what was the impact of the treatment. Was it a dramatic decrease in your cough? Can you describe exactly what happened after you started the medication?
From the moment I took the medication, that very first day, I could tell it was working. And that was for the very first time that a drug actually worked. And I could tell instantly because over the years I'd taken all kinds of medications, buying the extra strength stuff and what have you, and nothing really worked. As soon as I took it, I could tell this stuff's going to work. I even called Dr. Levine and told him, hey, I think you got a winner here. This stuff works. I stopped coughing, and as the days went on, it enabled me to sort of retrain my brain where I forget about coughing. And so I took the medication, I don't know, was it 3-4 weeks, something like that. And after that, I didn't need it anymore, and now I don't take any medication whatsoever. And my cough has totally subsided.
describe how this medication has changed your life in terms of your interpersonal relationships and in terms of your work. Again, you could describe that, that would be great.
Where it's been great as far as like at work, a lot of times I would be in a meeting with somebody or with other colleagues and I'd be coughing all the time. That was embarrassing. Everybody's looking at me all the time, why is the guy coughing so much? So now I can go to these meetings and I'm cough free. So I'm more relaxed in my business, daily life. As far as a personal life, I'm not coughing at home. I go out to dinner with friends and family. In the old days, before the medication, I was coughing all the time. People thought something's wrong with you. You better go to the doctor. Now I can go out to dinner with family and friends, and there's no coughing whatsoever. So it's been a big, major plus in my life.
We're trying to establish the value of this medication. And if your cough was continuing and you knew that this medication was working, would you pay $1 million for this? Would you just, what can you say to people who are considering whether to pay any money for this? How much is it worth to you to have your cough gone?
Well, for me, after having a cough for 30 years, you almost pay anything because, like for myself, I had gone to every doctor that I could possibly go to and that was recommended. Nobody could ever help me. And I sort of lost hope for a while until I met Dr. Levine, and then my wife's the one who really kept pushing me. There's got to be somebody out there that can help you. And, like I said, if you have a cough like I have and you can stop coughing, it does change your life. And it's, I'd pay plenty for it just to stop coughing and to get better. It's priceless. So.
Can I ask a question? As if he was asking this question, now that you've experienced life after taking this medication, could you envision what it would be like to not have it at this point?
No, I need the medication. Like I said, right now I do not need to take anything because the medication enabled me to sort of retrain my brain where I don't think about coughing anymore. But if I, for some reason, started coughing again, I would take it in a heartbeat.
Do you want to, if there's anything else you want to add? Or?
You want to redo anything, or
No, everything sounds great. You're doing the answers are excellent.
I just think that that's great. I think that that's perfect. That's just exactly what we want to hear. And I don't think that there's anything else. Just as a last one, is there anything else that you could say to people out there that you want to add, or that you already haven't mentioned, or is there anything, just anything else you want to say that we haven't asked in particular? You don't have to even answer.
Yeah. Like this cough I had for so long, I almost really did give up hope. And I was so lucky to be listening to the radio that morning and heard the little thing that Dr. Levine was on, a little commentary, because that really changed my life. And my wife has been just thrilled to death because the first time in her life, we've been married 20 years, she finally doesn't have to hear it anymore. And she's put up with it and put up with it. And so for her, it's a blessing in disguise also. So it's made my total family life a lot better.
Okay. I think that's great.
Excellent.
I appreciate it so much, Robert. Great for mentioning that. That's good, the medicines, because this is a pharmaceutical company we're going to be addressing. They're looking for alternatives, and there's nothing out there. So that's what this is all about, really. Something like that is really important.
So basically, the question would be, you respond to it like Keith's asking is, have you tried other,
Sure.
What kind of other medications did you try, and what worked, didn't work
Sure.
in comparison to this?
Okay, have you tried other medications prior to coming to the cough center? How have they worked for you?
Over the last 30 years, I have tried everything available at the drugstore. I have tried every prescription known to man that doctors had given me, from the codeine to the highest strength cough syrup to you name it. I've tried everything. I've even taken overdoses to see if that would work, and nothing could ever cure my cough. And I've tried everything from the codeine to other prescription drugs prescribed by doctors to get rid of the cough, and nothing ever worked on me. And I even took extra doses to see if it would help. and nothing ever helped until the medication I tried from Dr. Levine. And that's the first time I took a medication that I could tell immediately, hey, this stuff works.
So would you say that it's worth its weight in gold?
It's worth its weight in gold.
Okay.